Hey, what's up everybody? It's David here. So today I want to talk through ESAs versus 529 and what's the difference and which one you should choose. So an ESA and a 529, it's how you invest for your kids' college. Now, this is something we all want to do, and the sooner we do it, the better off we're going to be, because we're going to have time and compound interest on our side. So ideally, you would be starting to invest for your kids' college as soon as they're born. Now, the trouble with this is sometimes you're not financially ready at that time to start investing in your kids' college. So what exactly do I mean by financially ready? Well, this means that you have your financial house in order. So you have gotten yourself out of debt, you have an emergency fund that's in place of 3 to 6 months of your expenses, you've got your retirement rocking and rolling at 15 to 20% of your income, and at this stage, now you're ready to start investing in your kids' college. And it's not until this point that you can start investing, because again, you have to be able to take care of yourself in order to set your kids up in the future. Now, we all love our kids, we want to make sure that they're taken care of, but it's not going to do us any good if you set your kids up, but then you get to retirement and you don't have any money. So you have to take care of yourself first. So let's dive into what the difference is between an ESA and a 529 and which one you should choose. Speaking of choosing, you should choose to subscribe and hit that like button. Go ahead, I'll wait. All right, you did it, perfect, thanks. So let's start by talking how an ESA and a 529 plan are similar to one another. So both of these are going to be used for education and saving for your kids' education. And to do that, when you open a 529 or an ESA, you have to establish a beneficiary. Now, if this beneficiary gets scholarships or they end up not going to college or not using the money, they can transfer the money to someone they're related to. So that's helpful. It allows you to have a little more flexibility with the money. And so like I said, some of these kids are going to get scholarships. You know why I know they're going to get scholarships? Because they're awesome. They're awesome because you're watching this video and you're going to make sure they turn out awesome. And so because of that, when they get the scholarship, you can actually take the money out of the account and not have any penalties because of that. You'll pay taxes on it, but it'll basically just be like an investment. So if you raise awesome kids, you've got two options. You can either pull the money out and use it for something else. Maybe you give it to them as a graduation present to put towards a down payment on their house, which how awesome would that be? Or you can give it to another generation. Maybe you give it to their kids. Just think about that for a second. Now you've saved for your grandkids' college before they were even born. There's some serious power in that, and it's going to allow you to leave a legacy, and it's going to allow you to change your family tree. It's something that you really want to consider, and it's just another reason why we need to get ourselves in gear from a personal finance standpoint so that we can set ourselves up and our kids up and our kids' kids and our kids' kids' kids up. It's something that we have to do. So now let's dive into the 529 and some more of the specifics with it. So it's named after the IRS code, so nothing super exciting here. And actually every state now, almost every state, offers a 529 plan, which is good. But what the problem here is you are only allowed to put your money into a few different portfolios within the 529s. So you can't really dictate, I want to buy this mutual fund or I want this stock or this bond. You just have to pick that portfolio. And then they have a limitation of only twice a year can you actually reallocate your funds with there. I mean, you don't want to do it too often, but twice per year does put some limitations on yourself. Now, one of the benefits with it though, there is no age limit. So you can actually be a 32-year-old, for example. You can decide you're going to go back to school and you can actually use the money that's in your 529 without any penalties. And that's not the case for the ESA, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Now, the next thing with the 529 is that the withdrawals can be used for college and any expense during college. So this can be for tuition, room and board, supplies, computers, whatever really you have that go along with college fees. And you can also use it for K through 12 tuition, but only tuition. That's the difference with the ESA. And again, we'll dive into that in a second. And then there is no maximum contribution from an income standpoint. So anyone can contribute. So if you make $50,000, you can contribute. If you make $500,000, you can contribute. No income limitations. And the contribution per year that you can do for each student is $14,000. And then from each state, it depends on how much you can do for the lifetime of the entire account. Some states even go up to $300,000. So the amount here really isn't that limiting, but you would want to check for the state that you're looking to invest in. So how about the ESA? Well, sometimes you're going to hear it called the Coverdell ESA, and this is the congressman that actually pushed the bill through and brought it to the floor. So with this ESA, you're actually going to have more flexibility when it comes to the investments. You're no longer limited to those portfolios like you were in the 529. You actually have the entire market open to you. So you can choose to invest in any single stock or bond that you'd want. If there's a specific mutual fund that you like, go ahead and invest in it. It's going to be there when you open that ESA. And you're also not going to be limited to only moving the money around 2 times per year like you are in the 529. Now, one of the issues with it though is you do have an age limitation on it, and that age limitation is 30 years old. So if you get to 30 and you haven't used the money, you're going to end up getting hit with tax and penalties. So before you get to the age of 30, you either need to use the money or you need to pass it on to someone else in your family. Now, this money can be used for college and all the expenses that we talked about in the 529, so tuition, room and board, computers, supplies, but they can also be used for K through 12, just like a 529, but instead of having the limitation of just using it for tuition for K through 12, you can actually use it on all other kinds of expenses. So some of these are going to have room and board that go along with them, or uniforms. The CSA is going to provide you some additional benefit there. And there is the other contributing factor here that there is some income limitation maximums on this. So if you are single, it starts to become a phased approach. So from 95,000 to 110,000, you start to phase out, and once you get to 110, you're not able to contribute to an ESA. And if you're married filing jointly, same thing. You're going to have a phased approach from 190,000 up to 220,000. And once you hit that $220,000 maximum limit, you aren't able to open an ESA. So depending on what your income is, you may not be able to do an ESA and you'll have to do a 529. So it's just something that you're going to have to look at. So which one do you choose, ESA or 529? Well, it really depends on your certain situation, how you're going to use the money, how old you're going to be when you use the money, and what your income is. And so really both options are amazing. It's a great way to get tax-free growth for education. And it's something that we really need to start thinking about and doing for our kids' future. If you look at the current American crisis that we have going on here on student loans, it's something that's awful and something we don't want to set our kids up for in the future. It just smothers them and doesn't allow them to grow. So let's take a look at an example here. So currently in 2019, the average student graduated with $31,172 in student loan debt at an average interest rate of 4.53%, and that's being nice, assuming the federal loan limit. Now this means that, let's say that student takes 5 years to pay back the money, that student will have a payback loan repayment monthly amount of $581.57, and ultimately will pay $3,721.93 in interest. So now, let's say for a minute that instead of paying back this money, they were actually able to invest the monthly $581.57 payment at an interest rate of 7% return for the first 5 years. Well, they would have a grand total of $42,942.83 at age 27.
What if they then just left the $42,000 at age 27 in the account, making 7% rate of return until age 65 and never again added to it? It would grow to $561,660.93.
So yeah, getting your personal finances in gear to be able to invest in your kids' college is something you have to do. It's going to set them up for success forever in their life. So as always, if you're enjoying this video and this channel, please subscribe, hit that like button, and please comment down below on any future topics you would like me to cover.